Hi United fans! Strap yourselves in, because this one is absolutely packed, and make no mistake, this could be huge. Today, we're diving deep into Manchester United's late January transfer acceleration, fresh midfield links, major contract uncertainty, and a big Marcus Rashford update that could shape United's future. Stay connected, keep that notification bell on, and don't miss a single update because things are moving fast at Old Trafford. And yes, you heard that right. The final days of this window could still explode into life. Now let's get straight into it, because according to multiple reports, Manchester United have accelerated their pursuit of Al Hilal and Portugal international midfielder Ruben Neves, with strong signals coming out of Saudi Arabia that United are seriously pushing to finalise a deal before the January window slams shut. This is not just a casual link, this feels deliberate, urgent and calculated. Neves is a name United fans know all too well from his Premier League days. Composure under pressure, elite ball striking, leadership, tactical discipline, and that ability to control the tempo when matches start getting frantic. At 28, he's right in that sweet spot, experienced, battle-hardened, but nowhere near finished. The big question is simple but massive. Is this the midfielder United need right now? In my view, Neves brings something United have lacked for years. Calm authority in the middle of the park. Someone who doesn't hide when the game gets ugly. Picture him dictating play under the lights at Old Trafford, spraying passes, slowing things down when needed, lifting the crowd with a thunderbolt from range. Let that sink in. Would he instantly improve United's midfield balance? I'd say yes, but does the club have the nerve to pull it off in the final days? United fans, be honest, would you back this move in January or save the money for summer? And it doesn't stop there. Multiple reports from Italy suggest Manchester United have already made first contact with Atalanta over a potential move for Brazilian midfielder Edison. This one is particularly interesting. Edison isn't flashy, he's not all headlines and hype, but he's relentless, intelligent, physically dominant, and tactically sharp. The type of midfielder who does the dirty work, wins second balls, presses like a demon, and allows creative players to breathe. In modern English football, those players are absolute gold dust. United have been punished too many times by being too soft through the middle, too easy to play through. Edison changes that dynamic instantly. The question here is strategic. Are United planning a rebuild of the engine room, or are these just opportunistic January probes? Personally, I love this link. It screams long-term thinking rather than panic buying. But can United negotiate with Atalanta, one of Europe's toughest sellers, especially in January? That's where it gets tricky. Now, let's clear the air on one name that keeps doing the rounds: Cole Palmer. According to Fabrizio Romano, Palmer is considered a very important player for Chelsea now and for the future, and as things stand, there has been no contact at all between him and Manchester United. So let's be clear, right now, nothing is true. Chelsea are not entertaining discussions, and if Palmer ever decides to leave in the future, the asking price will be, in Romano's words, crazy money. And honestly, that tracks. English, proven, creative, ice cold under pressure. Chelsea would demand a fee that would make headlines across Europe. Do United admire him? Almost certainly. Is a move realistic anytime soon? Right now, no. But football changes quickly, doesn't it? United fans, if Palmer somehow became available, would you smash the club record for him, or look elsewhere? Then there's a situation that feels quietly significant: Harry Maguire. According to The Athletic, Manchester United are still considering what to do with the England international at the end of the season. He's 32, his contract is running down, and no substantive talks have taken place yet. Meanwhile, clubs in Italy and Turkey have already been in touch with his agent. This is one of those crossroads moments. Maguire has had ups and downs, criticism, comebacks, leadership spells, the full Old Trafford rollercoaster. The question now is brutally honest. Does he still fit United's long-term vision? From my perspective, this feels like a respectful parting of ways could be on the cards unless talks suddenly accelerate. But should United let an experienced England international walk for free? Or is it time to cash in, refresh, and move forward? United fans, what would you do if you were in charge? And finally, the story that will hit many right in the chest: Marcus Rashford. According to Fabrizio Romano, Barcelona want to keep Rashford and have already told his camp they want to make the move permanent. No talks with Manchester United yet.
In other hand,
according to multiple reports across Europe, the appointment of Michael Carrick as Manchester United head coach is not being viewed internally as a short-term fix, but as a calculated step toward a permanent role in the summer. And let that sink in. Carrick isn't just talking tactics, he's talking identity. Reports suggest he wants to drag United back to the Sir Alex Ferguson blueprint: fearless football, technical bravery, and above all, trust in homegrown talent. Sources close to the club claim Carrick deeply admires the direct, explosive playing style of Mason Greenwood. And yes, United executives are reportedly aligned. The buyback clause is there. The option exists. The internal admiration is real. The question is simple and explosive. Should United pull the trigger and bring Greenwood home to Old Trafford? Or is the risk too great despite the footballing upside? Unbelievable, but true, this debate is happening right now behind closed doors. Meanwhile, United's recruitment team are grafting hard, and Iliman Ndiaye is firmly on their radar. According to Team Talk, the Everton forward has several admirers inside Old Trafford, with United prioritising Premier League proven quality rather than risky overseas punts. Ndiaye's sharp movement, relentless engine, and streetwise edge have not gone unnoticed, especially after his eye-catching displays for Senegal at African. However, sources stress that any concrete move could depend heavily on who leads the project next season. So here's one for you, Reds. Does Ndiaye have that Old Trafford edge, or should United aim even higher for a game-changer? And then there's the emotional pull of Scott McTominay. His recent words on Michael Carrick weren't just respectful, they were loaded with meaning. So much love and respect, he said. Pride, belief, unity. Coming at a time when transfer rumours are swirling, insiders suggest United are genuinely open to welcoming McTominay back into the fold this summer. From my point of view, this screams squad balance and leadership. He understands the badge, he understands the pressure. But here's the big debate. Is bringing McTominay back a smart squad move, or a sentimental decision driven by nostalgia? Elsewhere, the Saudi Pro League is circling, and this time it's serious. According to Relevo, Al Nassr have identified Casemiro as a top target, with discussions internally about a potential summer move. United know the reality. Age, wages, and evolution of the midfield all come into play. If the right offer lands, the club could be forced to act. My opinion? If United can reinvest wisely, this could be a necessary sacrifice for long-term progress. But can you really replace Casemiro's experience overnight? According to Sky Sports, United are also monitoring RB Leipzig's Jan Diomande, a player admired across Europe. The problem? An eye-watering £87 million asking price, which has already scared off bids this window. Talent-wise, there's no doubt. Price-wise, it's a serious gamble. So let me ask you straight, is Diomande worth breaking the bank for, or should United walk away and explore smarter value in the market? Then came a reminder of resilience from Gary Neville, who delivered a powerful defence of Harry Maguire. Top defender, elite mentality, Neville said, and he's not wrong. Maguire has survived pressure that would break most players. Booed, questioned, written off. And yet, he's still standing. In my view, that mentality alone deserves respect. Whether he starts every week or not, that sort of character is priceless in a rebuild. Meanwhile, according to Fabrizio Romano, everything is done and finished regarding Rasmus Højlund, with United already planning to reinvest the funds ahead of the next transfer window. This isn't hesitation, this is strategy. It signals a clear shift in direction, a ruthless edge we've been crying out for. The big question now is, will United finally get the replacements right, or repeat the same old mistakes? So, Reds, over to you. Would you back Carrick long-term? Should Greenwood return? Is Ndiaye the right profile? Do United cash in on Casemiro? And is this finally the start of a proper reset? Drop your thoughts, your disagreements, your predictions, because this rebuild needs debate. Stay tuned, stay loud, and stay with Trafford Times. Meanwhile, according to multiple reports, Manchester United are actively exploring a potential deal that would see Marcus Rashford remain in Spain permanently, while Barcelona midfielder Marc Casado heads the other way to Old Trafford. And honestly, this one feels like it's got legs. Rashford's loan spell at Camp Nou has been nothing short of a revival story. 8 goals, 12 assists, 29 appearances, that's elite output. Full stop. The sharpness is back, the confidence is back, the swagger is back. He looks like a player reborn under the Catalan sun, and reports suggest he's absolutely loving life in Spain. Barcelona do have a €30 million purchase option, but let that sink in with their financial headaches. They're pushing for a lower fee or a creative swap solution. Rashford, for his part, has reportedly made his stance clear. Barcelona is the priority, even with PSG lurking. From a United perspective, it's bittersweet. This is one of our own, but if he's happy, flying, and valued elsewhere, should the club cash in smartly, rather than force a reunion that might not spark again? Reds, be honest, would you accept Rashford staying in Spain if it meant fixing the midfield properly? And that's where Marc Casado enters the conversation, a name you'll want to remember. At just 22, Casado has quietly built a reputation as a modern midfield controller, aggressive in the press, technically secure, tactically disciplined, and brave on the ball. United see him as a core piece in the upcoming midfield overhaul, especially with Casemiro confirmed to leave in the summer. Casado's valuation ranges between €30 million and €44 million, which conveniently lines up with Rashford's price bracket. Coincidence? I don't think so. Under Hansi Flick, his minutes have been limited despite public praise, and sources suggest the player is tempted by the idea of being central to a project, not a rotational option. Old Trafford offers exactly that. Energy, legs, bite, intelligence traits this United midfield has been crying out for. Could this be one of those rare deals where everyone wins? Barcelona manage their wages, United get younger and sharper, and Rashford gets the chapter he wants. Would you pull the trigger on this swap, Reds, or does letting Marcus go permanently still hurt too much? Elsewhere, there's growing confidence around Harry Maguire, and credit where it's due, the man has grafted. According to Graham Bailey, Maguire is prioritising a new United contract above all else, and behind the scenes, optimism is building. From captaincy chaos to redemption arc, he's shown resilience that deserves respect. He's been dependable, vocal, and professional, especially during turbulent spells. In a dressing room that needs leaders, continuity matters. Should United reward that consistency with fresh terms, or is this simply smart squad management before another rebuild wave hits? What do you think, extension or careful transition? Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Reports from the Daily Express suggest Manchester United see Cole Palmer as a possible replacement should Bruno Fernandes leave. And let's be clear, nobody wants Bruno to go. He's the heartbeat, the fire starter, the difference maker. Irreplaceable? Probably. But football waits for no one. Palmer, if available, would cost club record money. And stylistically, he's one of the very few who could even attempt to fill that creative void. He's ice cold, technically outrageous, and built for pressure. Still, replacing Bruno isn't just about talent, it's about mentality, leadership, and obsession with winning. Could Palmer ever match that edge? Or is this one of those contingency plans you hope never becomes reality? Red's straight answer yes or no. Looking ahead, United's recruitment radar remains wide. According to Rob Dorset of Sky, Keita Mete is on the club's list of future prospects. A powerful, raw forward making noise in League One with Rennes 3 goals in 6 starts tells you the ceiling is high. A move now is unlikely unless something dramatic happens, but this is one of those watch this space names. The scouting department clearly sees potential, and United have been burned before by ignoring early signs. Should the club strike early with talents like this? Drop your thoughts. In other news, according to multiple reports, Manchester United are seriously pushing late in the January window, and one name that keeps coming back around Carrington is Hayden Hackney. Yes, you heard that right. The Middlesbrough midfielder is firmly on United's radar, with talk of a potential £30 million move gaining real traction. At 23, Hackney ticks so many of the boxes United are crying out for: energetic, technically tidy, tactically disciplined, and most importantly, Premier League ready mentality, even if he's coming from the Championship. Let that sink in. This isn't a panic signing. This is a player who's been watched for years, and his connection to Michael Carrick only adds fuel to the fire. Carrick knows exactly what Hackney brings: tempo control, positional intelligence, and that proper English midfield grit that fans at the Stretford end absolutely love. The big question is simple. Is Hackney the kind of signing that quietly elevates United's midfield balance for years to come? In my opinion, this feels like one of those deals that looks smarter with every passing month if it gets done. Meanwhile, up top, the picture is far from settled. Reports continue to suggest that Joshua Zirkzee could be on the move in the final days of this window. Nothing is confirmed yet, but the noise is growing, and when there's smoke at Old Trafford, there's often fire. United are said to be monitoring the situation very closely, and if Zirkzee does leave, sources suggest United are ready to go all in immediately for Jean-Philippe Mateta.